Welcome back as we now turn to the health of our furry four-legged friends. And I think as a pet owner, there are some common illnesses that we all need to know to look out for in our best friends, like gastro issues or parasites. But every now and then, our pets get affected by something a little harder to identify. And one such ailment is urinary issues in our cats, which, believe it or not, is way more common than we think. So, being a cat daddy, I went back to the vet to find out all about it. Take a look. Cats are mysterious, often very aloof, a little bit scary, but they generally rule their household. And when a cat chooses to give you love and affection, there is really no better feeling in the world. So as part of our pet health series with Royal Canin, I thought it would be a great opportunity to connect with a super awesome vet, Dr. Keeling Hutting, to find out more about these fascinating little creatures. Come on. Hello, Dr. Hutton.
Hi.
How are you? Oh, wow. Wait, are you running a cat spa here, or is this a veterinary hospital?
This is the lap of luxury here.
Doc, thank you so much for taking a time out of your very busy practice to enlighten us today. I'm clearly a cat lover, but I think anyone who's owned a cat will know that they are very mysterious creatures, and they require a very particular kind of care.
They do.
I don't think many people realize just how prevalent urinary tract issues are within cats. How serious of a problem is this? How often does this come through your doors?
So in cats, I would say it's one of the most common issues that we get presented at our practice. Obviously, it depends on what the cause is of those urinary issues. Could be anything from infection to bladder stones, kidney stones, as well as something that we call feline idiopathic cystitis. So essentially, that's usually a stress response in these cats that causes this raging inflammation in the bladder. And there's a lot of management that needs to go into managing and dealing with those cases over time.
What are those warning signs, or how do we know something might be off? What should we be looking out for?
Well, I guess it comes down to how well you know your cat. Every cat has a completely different personality. Some of them are naturally more aloof and, they're really on their own mission, Miss Independent. Some of the signs are very subtle, and owners may not pick up on those initially, and that can be to the detriment of the cat, because we often then see them only presented to us when they are quite far along in their disease process. It's no fault of the owner. Cats are good at hiding their vulnerabilities, so very subtle changes would be things like slightly reduced appetite, maybe urinating in places that they don't normally, hiding away.
I'm guessing, as with humans, prevention is better than the cure. How do we best protect our animals from these kinds of conditions?
It's difficult because some cats are going to get it, some cats are never going to get it. Unfortunately, it does come down to they kind of have to have one episode, and then we know we can manage them from then onwards. Obviously, I always recommend to my clients, feed the best quality food that you can afford. We're not doing any favors to our pets by feeding them, poor quality food. Depending on what condition we diagnose in these patients, there are certain diets that we will then recommend. Certain diets will dissolve stones, prevent formation of new stones. If we've got a cat with the stress bladder, there are diets that contain anti-stress ingredients, natural ingredients that will really give support to that bladder and really reduce that inflammatory process. And on top of that, we've obviously got things like antibiotics to treat a current bacterial infection. We've got behavioral modifying medications that we can use as well. But I would say first line of defense is food, 100%.
I love the fact that we can gain some control through diet, yes, but also through a very close relationship with our vet. When do we know it's critical to get in to see a vet? What are those major red flags?
So I often have clients saying, look, I don't know if I'm being totally paranoid and, maybe there's nothing wrong, but we want you to come in sooner rather than later. It's going to be much easier for us to treat those patients. It's better for our patients' overall health that we see them earlier on than later, and it's better for your wallet. So big red flags in cats, I would say my big ones are inappetence, not eating. Cats that don't eat, there's something going on. Cats that cannot urinate, so if you have an indoor cat that you see squatting in its box and nothing is happening, emergency, come in 100%. And cats that are in any way just not themselves, because as we've discussed, they can be so good at hiding symptoms that I think the second you feel like something is off with your cat, rather just come in for a check. The worst it's going to cost you is a consultation fee if nothing is wrong.
Thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time today, but thank you for doing the work you do every day. This is an amazing organization. I've seen some of the major success stories that you guys have pulled off, but it's that hidden work that you do every day for those pet owners that we really do appreciate. So thank you so much. Definitely part of the Expresso family. Well, there you have it. You know your pet better than anyone else. If you notice any subtle changes, any major differences, don't wait a second. If you see an issue, make sure that you take your pet to the vet. Let me say it again. Take your pet to the vet if you have to. Thank you so much to the Royal Canin team of incredible vets. Dr. Hutton was so amazing spending a day with you. I think ultimately the take home for me is you know your pets better than anyone else. So foster that relationship and make sure you take care of those gorgeous furry little models.
Royal Canin, making a better world for pets through precise and tailored health through nutrition.